Hello everyone, and welcome to another Minecraft tutorial where I will be showing you how to construct these warped and crimson fungus and root farms. The items that it creates are the crimson roots, the warped fungus, the warped roots, and the crimson fungus. And here on the Hermitcraft server where I've decorated this area, I have split the farm into two parts. You can actually construct this as one farm for both of them. If we go ahead and activate the farms, you will see that they are ridiculously fast. So if I just pop in here to collect the items by walking around, you'll see that we get stacks upon stacks of stuff just after a few seconds of farming them. And it should also be noted that there is one item you cannot actually farm here, that is the nether sprouts. When you stop the farm, there will be some of it and you need shears to pick this stuff up. That is one thing that will get created here, but also destroyed when the farm is running. And it might just be that you, like me, are only looking to use this farm to gather some fungus for growing up the warped and crimson stems. Well, what you can do with the rest of the materials is chuck them into a simple setup like this, where they go into a composter and they get recycled into bone meal. And if it wasn't obvious, bone meal is what powers the farm. And what a slick transition that was. Welcome to the testing world where I designed this farm. This is the same one you saw a moment ago on Hermitcraft. It has the split Nylium, so it can actually farm both the items at once. And it's in this world that we're going to conduct a little tutorial, and I will show you how to build this farm. And a couple of fun facts about the farm: it actually fills up your entire inventory in 1 minute, which uses about 300 bone meal. And that's because this farm was designed to be as fast as possible, so it pushes back the blocks as quick as it can, and every single time it activates some bone meal too. And if you left this thing running for an hour, it would produce over 130,000 items. And yes, that would be a lot of bone meal. So the building supplies you'll need for this farm are in this chest right here, so feel free to pause the video if you need to gather them. These blocks right here are just generic building blocks, and you will need to visit both the warped and the crimson forests in the nether with a silk touch pick to get your hands on these two types of Nylium. So the area you'll need to construct this is 7 blocks across, 8 blocks deep, and about 7 blocks tall. And we'll start off by building the clock, as it's probably the trickiest part of all of this. So you want to place a note block down, a block off the bottom, and then a observer on this side. And the way you're facing is the way that the observers will face, so it's important to place as follows. The last one just faces downwards like this. Then we need to go up on top of this note block by 3 blocks, destroy these two so we can place a sticky piston facing downwards, put a lever on top of it, and then you'll see when we pick this thing up we get a pulse, but when we push it back down the clock is running. The last thing to do is just to put an observer on either side of this, and while we're building it, make sure the clock is turned off. So the next step is to construct this rectangle of blocks. It's just 3 out from the observer on each side, then 6 out, and then just fill it all the way across. And it's underneath in this gap that you place 5 pistons on either side facing inwards, and then above them you have to put glass here. And this needs to be glass because the Nylium that gets caught underneath it will turn into netherrack if it's a solid block. The next thing we want to do is put in the dispenser facing upwards before all the Nylium goes in. That'll just make it much easier. So place blocks like these. You can remove these unnecessary ones, and here in the middle is where you put the dispenser, and of course fill it up with bone meal. Then over on this side, place 2 repeaters like so on the default setting, and then redstone in these 4 spots. So now you're going to be good to put the Nylium in place. You just want to put 3 blocks across 5 times over like so, then do the same thing again, and you'll notice there is a gap on the one side where the glass is, and that is perfectly normal. And we're almost there. Just these pieces of redstone to put down on this side, and on this side over here we actually miss one in 2 spots because there are 2 repeaters. Quick note here, this is the opposite side from where the repeaters are down at this bottom level. And believe it or not, that's it. If you hit the lever up here, the farm will start running immediately, giving you tons and tons of items, which by the way, they never pop out of this area here and land on the sides. As I showed in the beginning though, the collection system is just you. You want to run in here after a moment and gather all the stuff up, which is why it's unlikely you'll need to do this, as you get a lot of items from the bone meal. But if you really did need to expand this and leave it running for a while, you could put extra bone meal back here and feed it into the dispenser using some hoppers. And on that note, I think I've covered just about everything, so if you found it useful, be sure to leave a like and maybe share it with a fellow Minecrafter. If you're looking for more tutorials, the playlist is linked in the description box down below. But that's it from me, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.